Today, we're diving into Japanese communication and how just one tiny word can be the difference between sounding a little blunt and sounding like you've been speaking the language for years.
You've totally been there, right? You're learning a new language and you're just terrified that a simple word like no is going to come off as super blunt or maybe even rude. It's a classic anxiety for anyone trying to navigate a new culture.
Well, the secret to solving that exact problem in Japanese lies in one simple but seriously powerful little phrase, Chigau. So what is it about this phrase that makes it so special? To really get it, we've got to break it down piece by piece, because this is about way more than just saying no. Okay, first, you've got the core word chigau. All by itself, it's a pretty straightforward verb that means something like to differ or to be wrong. So if you use it as a response, you're saying no, or that's not it. Simple enough, right? But here's where the magic really happens. The social nuance, the thing that makes it all click, comes from this one tiny addition at the very end, the particle yo. Yo is what's called a sentence-ending particle, and trust me, it's a total game changer. It's kind of hard to translate directly, but it adds this feeling of emphasis, almost like you're saying, hey, just so you know, or let me tell you something. So let's put them side by side so you can really feel the difference. Just saying chigao is, well, it's a direct, flat statement. It's correct, sure, but it can feel a little abrupt. But when you say chigayo, the entire vibe just shifts. It immediately becomes a softer, more helpful kind of correction. You know, a perfect way to think about it is in terms of your tone of voice. Chigao is like saying no flatly, but chigaoyo is like saying oh no with a friendlier, slightly raised tone that lets the other person know you're about to help them out.
Okay, theory is great and all, but this stuff is all about real-world communication. So let's jump into an actual example to see how this works in a conversation. All right, picture this. A friend or maybe a coworker comes up to you and asks a pretty simple question. Hey, do I have to get this done today? Now, you know the answer is no, it's not due today. So the big question is, how do you say that? How do you respond in a way that's clear, but also sounds natural and, polite? You've basically got two ways you can go here. Response one, just chigao. Yeah, it gets the point across. It's factually correct. But then look at response two, chigao yo. This is the one that sounds truly natural. It's softer and it feels way more collaborative, more helpful.
And this right here is the whole point. That one little yo particle completely transforms the interaction. You're not just a fact checker bluntly telling them they're wrong. You're suddenly a helpful guide, gently pointing them in the right direction. It's a huge difference. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? This little insight is your key to unlocking a much more natural, nuanced way of communicating in Japanese. It really just boils down to a super simple process. First, you start with your core message, chigau. Then, you add that small but mighty particle, yo, to soften the tone. And boom, that's it. You're communicating not just the information, but the feeling with total confidence.
And let's be really clear, this isn't just about the phrase shigaoyo. This is like opening a window into a really fundamental part of Japanese communication, the incredible power of these small sentence-ending words to pack in so much emotion, emphasis, and social meaning.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. This principle isn't just for Japanese, is it? Think about English or any language you speak. What are the small words, the little shifts in tone that make all the difference in the world between just saying something and actually communicating?